Hey Taurus, what's shaking my bull gang? How are you, friends? I hope you're well. Thought I'd come here and throw down a bonus read for you and just see what's going on in your energy, Taurus. Thanks for all that you do here. I appreciate you so much. And let's find out what's going on. Tell me about Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. If you just showed up to this these shenanigans, welcome. I hope you'll stay. We have a massive Taurus tribe, and I hope that you'll decide to stay if you like the way I read. And if you don't, look, there's so many beautiful readers on this platform. Go find one that matches your energy, but I hope you match mine. Let's find out what's going on for my Taurus tribe, my bull gang, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Happy New Year, friends. How's the New Year so far? We're only 5 days in, right? It is, as I throw this, is Ukrainian Christmas, so Christos Restaitio for those of you who celebrate on the Julian calendar. All right, let's find out what's going on for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Tell me what's going on. We've got the Knight of Wands in the reverse, huh? Make sure everything's upright. It is. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. Why is it in the reverse? Something is taking its sweet old time, Taurus. I've got the Eight of Cups. I think you've turned your back on it already. Yeah, it feels like something here was moving so slow that you're like, forget it. I'm not even waiting for that thing. I feel like you've decided I don't have to settle for this. I feel like something here is taking its time. I think that you're probably looking forward to the future. I think that you are excited about the future. I feel like, Taurus, that you have come out of this this hard place. Now, we know that Uranus has been in Taurus for a while, since about 2018, I think, and we're coming to the end of that run. I think it leaves Taurus sometime in at the end of April, I think. So, Taurus, I feel like you are probably looking better, feeling better, getting more attention than you've ever gotten. I feel like this decision you made to turn away from whatever was not catching up to you, whatever was taking its time or was slowing down, it feels like whatever it was probably not very stable anyway. But I feel like you with the Eight of Cups, that you decided to turn your back on it because you decided, I don't have to wait here anymore. I'm not going to settle for waiting for something that might not be a sure thing. So the Six of Wands tells me that you're off to this place where I feel like, I want to say that I think that going forward into your life here, Taurus, in 2026, that things are about to get really great. It feels like you're about to get more attention, more excitement. You know, I feel like people are going to see you as somebody who is getting a lot of attention, and they're going to see that as ego. I really don't know that it is, though. I'm just going to say you may have already turned your back on your ego. You may have had an ego death already. Tell me what bridges the Knight of Wands to the Eight of Cups, please. Tell me why they're here together for Taurus. We've got the Ace of Wands. We've got the Ten of Wands. Yeah, you just put all of that down, Taurus, is what you did. Look at that. Tower's on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like you're headed for a shift. Oh, a shift of perspective. Very interesting. You have some sort of shift of perspective because you've been through a very healing time. It feels like you've healed to a place here where I want to say this Leo energy here is giving me, I don't give a shit. It's like, I really don't care. I don't care what you think of me. I'm not carrying around this emotional burden anymore of waiting and feeling like I had to settle. I feel like the Six of Wands tells me you're about to get more attention than you've ever had. And I feel like it's exciting. I want to say that whatever was taking its time, I feel you've turned your back on it. But I want to say that the Chariot energy is giving me that something is about to push you forward. It feels like you have been sitting here in stasis. I'm going to say you've been hanging here, waiting for something to change that wasn't changing. And you've been holding on to something, or maybe shouldering something that was quite emotional that wasn't yours to shoulder. But I feel like because of Taurus, right? Whether it comes up in your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, it's loyalty. You can't let it go. It's longevity. I'm going to be here for a while. It's going to take me a while to change my mind. It's not that, Taurus, you can't change your mind. It's that it takes you a while to do it. So I feel like this here tells me that you were holding on to something or shouldering this responsibility of, it almost feels like you were like, well, blaming yourself. The reasons why they didn't show up for you, or it didn't show up for you. It could be emotions, it could be excitement, it could be money. The reasons it didn't show up for you, I feel like you're about to get a whole new perspective. A whole new perspective. You're about to have a shift in perspective here because of your healing about why it didn't show up till now. We could be talking about money, a job, a promotion. We could be talking about something that you've been eyeing up from a distance for a while. Because we have the Page of Swords, right? It feels like something you may have been eyeing up from a distance for a while, hoping that something would show up, and it wasn't. Very interesting, Taurus. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's talk about this Eight of Cups here, because I feel like for the longest time, you sat here waiting for the past to catch up. You were settling for something. Look, when you're waiting for something to catch up from the past and it's not showing up, there's a reason for that. It's because you already learned that lesson. They're not coming back. Tell me about the Eight of Cups, please, for Taurus. We've got the Four of Cups. Yeah, I think you stayed there for a while because this is your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is being loyal, not being able to change. Not being able to change quickly, I'm going to say, because you're able to change, just not able to change quickly. We have the Devil energy here. Yeah, it feels like you have an attachment to a comfort zone here. The Three of Swords is in the reverse. I think that, I don't think that you were sitting here really because you're stubborn, Taurus. I think you were sitting here waiting for your heart to heal. I think that somebody really disappointed you. We're going to talk about this next. We're going to talk about the Knight of Wands being in the reverse. It could be somebody who was a fire sign, possibly a Leo, Sagittarius, or an Aries, or somebody who usually would move really quick or did move quick in the past and then slowed themselves down or pulled back their energy. So the Three of Swords in the reverse is telling me here that you were waiting for your heart to heal. It feels like you were stuck in some sort of a comfort zone on the hamster wheel, I'm going to say. But I feel like really it's a comfort zone of, it almost feels like you were blaming yourself, I'm going to say. So if you were blaming yourself, I don't think it was you that you should blame. I think that I don't think there's any blame to place at all, but I feel if there was anything, it feels like somebody pulled back their energy or just stopped moving forward. And maybe they just didn't stop moving forward to you. I think they stopped moving forward in their life. I don't think it had really anything to do with you as much as you think it did. Tell me why the Knight of Wands is here in the reverse. Somebody may have ghosted you. Yeah, the Five of Pentacles is here. Somebody could have ghosted you or just stopped talking to you or pulled their energy away. The thing is that I feel like that the universe had this happen to bring you back into alignment. This person also could have pulled their energy back because they were trying to get into alignment. Taurus, you know what I think it is? I feel like this is a situationship. Like might be a situationship or something that was unstable. That somebody here, I feel, realized that what they were giving you wasn't enough or they didn't have enough to give you. And so I feel like somebody here pulled back. But in the pullback, I feel like it was a ghosting. They stopped talking to you. And it felt terrible. I think that you blamed yourself for it for a while, but I think that this person pulled back because of the Nine of Cups. I feel like they were trying to get themselves into an alignment and they knew that they needed to put themselves on the outside looking in if they were going to get any balance. I think they were trying to get emotional balance because I feel like this person is somebody who ran in fire. And the Knight of Wands being in the upright is the one who's making risky behavior, someone who's not staying, who's not really on stable legs, somebody who's just, getting what they want when they want it, and then they're just off to the next one. So I feel like somebody here, I want to say that while they have been pulled away from you, that the reason that they did it is because they realized that they were being the Knight of Wands. I think they stopped that in order to get themselves in balance. Tell me about this Justice card. Tell me about the Justice card. We've got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Four of Wands. And we've got the Ace of Swords. I think that you will hear from this person again. I think you're going to hear from them because I think they're going to come at you and tell you that life is far more harmonious, or maybe they have finally cleared up some sort of a legal issue. It feels like they're coming to you with honesty and truth. Now, you may not trust them. That's the thing. They're coming to you in a stable way with some sort of after having some sort of epiphany or clarity, a moment of clarity that actually made them decide what they wanted. Because with the Seven of Cups here, it feels like they were in an illusion, or that they couldn't see what they wanted, or they had the rosy colored glasses on. They didn't feel like they were doing anything wrong until they realized they were. This could be anybody, right? It doesn't have to be anything romantic. It could be, I say situationship, but it could be a friend. It could be if you've got somebody in your life who just stopped talking to you. Tell me about the Six of Wands. Look, I don't think you care anymore. I'm just going to say. I think the Six of Wands is here because I feel like you're no longer harboring this feeling of it was my fault, or that I wasn't enough, or I didn't give enough, or I didn't do enough. Tell me about the Six of Wands here. Yeah, I don't think you care, friend, because I think you've had a breakthrough that you are handsome, you are beautiful, you are attractive, you're attracting happy things. There is a breakthrough. You might have already met somebody else, possibly. And if you haven't met somebody else, I'm going to just say that this person probably doesn't show up until you have met somebody else. That's what it feels like. Tell me about the Six of Wands. I feel like somebody saw you under the sun. People paying attention to you, giving you a lot of attention. We've got Temperance. And we've got Judgment. I feel like you made a decision to heal. So you completely turned away from the past, and I feel like that brought you some sort of a breakthrough. It's like a moment of alchemy showed up where you decided, you know what, I just need to take the door that's being offered to me. The Judgment card is you being birthed into a new cycle. And I think that that new cycle is very exciting. I think that the new cycle comes after you coming through the war or the fight, after coming through a dark night of the soul. And because Uranus is in your sign, I think that's what the deal is here. I feel like you've been going through some sort of heavy-duty transformation. And that you've had this breakthrough, that you're kind of glad that this didn't work out for you, because now you realize where you're going, right? You realize where you're going, and that that your purpose is a higher purpose. You're being called to a higher purpose with the Temperance here, which is quite psychic spiritual energy. That's Sagittarius. And then we have Judgment here. I feel like you're being called to a higher purpose, and you've realized your higher purpose, Taurus. And it wasn't this. I feel like this was something you had to learn, and this was a heartbreak you had to go through in order to heal you through this dark night of the soul, bring you to this other place here. Now, I feel like instead of you holding on to something that didn't quite cut it emotionally, the Ten of Wands is, being saddled with something or carrying something with you. And I think that the Chariot's here. I think now, rather than waiting for somebody, what you're waiting for is for everything to unfold. What is 2026 going to look like for me? Like, I feel like you're excited with being saddled with the excitement of the Chariot moving forward, that you don't know what the future will bring emotionally or otherwise, because Cancer is water energy. That is Chariot. That's Cancer energy. It feels like you're really excited about all of the discipline, stability that you have brought yourself, because now it's allowing you to push forward here. So tell me what this Chariot is about here. Because I feel like there is something really exciting coming up for you. But understand the reason I think I was telling you this is because this is in the past, and I think that you needed that in order to come through your dark night of the soul. I think it was part of your dark night of the soul. So you could learn your worth and learn where you were stuck, where you were on the hamster wheel, right? Where you didn't believe in yourself, that you were stuck in some sort of thing that you were settling for. Tell me about the Chariot, please. We've got the Five of Swords. We've got the Knight of Wands. And we have the Page of Swords. So I feel that you are now looking into the future at things that you want. And I feel that you have the wisdom now and the fire to go get it. It feels like with the Five of Swords here, that you are in this energy of possibly feeling like fighting. I'm going to say it's like you want to you want to go forward so fast, but you're being pulled back. So that makes me feel like you might be like, for instance, a Taurus sun with a fire rising, or you might be a fire sign with a Taurus moon. You know what I mean? It feels like you're in this tug and pull of, I just want to go into my future and do it all right now, but you're being kind of held back. The Five of Swords is giving me a little bit of cynical energy about what is really exciting me going into the future, because it's all hiding under the surface. I feel like what's hiding under the surface is your passion. Your passion, I feel like you're doing a double check with yourself to make sure that you have all of the information. You've dug up all the information. It's like you're ready for takeoff, but you haven't quite made the decision to go. It's like you're trying to figure out... You're trying to look at things from a distance. You're observing, I feel, the self. And what is this? This 10 of Wands here. We've got the Page of Cups. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So I feel like what you're holding on to, or maybe that you need to drop, is that I feel like you need to be excited about the things that will shock you or surprise you that are coming up. I think that you need to be excited about new opportunities that are showing up, because the Queen of Pentacles is here. Those are big opportunities to make more money, opportunities for jobs, opportunities to get rubbing elbows with people, like getting reciprocal energy with people who are in a higher state of being, a higher place in their life, financially, material wealth, that kind of thing. I feel that eventually somebody here does come back to say sorry to you, Taurus, for something they did. I think we are talking about the Knight of Wands, whoever that is. But I feel like you're so far into the future already that you've already walked through the other door. I feel like you're in your higher purpose and that the sun is shining on you. And not only are you happy, but you're having breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough, that the dark night of the soul was so necessary, because without the darkness, you can't appreciate the light. So tell me what the outcome is, what is coming up next for Taurus. Let's find out what's coming up next for you. So I feel like I'm telling you that this person is coming back from the past, but I think you're over it. You're done, because you're in this higher purpose of yours, and you're making a lot of money. You're rubbing elbows with people in a different level of life. This person's at the beginning. You're sort of like light years in front of them. I think they show up to unburden themselves, to say sorry. I think that you'll probably accept it, because you're in this Queen of Pentacles energy, which is pre-Empress energy, which is, I get it. I'm emotionally stable. I'm emotionally aware and intelligent, and I get why you did what you did. But, not my circus, not my monkeys. So thanks, but no thanks. That's what it feels like here. Comes next here, we've got the Hierophant. We've got, the Queen of Swords. Very interesting. Taurus, I feel like you will be speaking to others about how you built yourself to here. I think that you become the spiritual teacher. I feel like everything that you learned in this dark night of the soul energy is something that you're either going to write about or something you're going to sell by speaking. The Queen of Swords is somebody who only speaks the truth, highly intelligent, a person who has a lot of boundaries, but also somebody who's making money from their balance. Like, it feels like you're so in balance that you possibly are making financial gains from it. And the Queen of Swords is somebody who is liberating themselves and speaking their mind. So it feels like you could be a speaker of things. You could be a writer. You could be somebody with the Hierophant energy that uses the higher self in order to speak to others about how I got to this place of being in the energy of the King and the Queen of Pentacles here. One more card. It's changed your perspective. I love it. It's changed your perspective here, friend. You now have a perspective that no one else has, or maybe that some people have, but the people who I think seek you out for your knowledge because you're highly intelligent, Taurus, are the people who are looking to be at your level. Yeah. So the reason that you went through this dark night of the soul is because you are supposed to be a teacher of things that is coming in the form of a higher calling. And you are about to meet the right people. You're about to be introduced to the right people. And I feel like they will see your fire. I feel like this makes you a little bit dangerous. Like this King of Wands, Five of Swords energy is being, don't screw with me. Don't, because I don't miss a thing. I'm not going to miss anything. And the Queen of Swords is the one with the sharp eye. So is the King of Wands, so they know what they want. Look, I'm going to leave this right here, Taurus. I hope this made a little bit of sense to you. I'm going to go for now. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. You guys take care. Bye-bye.